Opening a brainstorming session always has its challenges and its opportunities. I would suggest three things. One is have an icebreaker that's compatible with professional people. Some sixth graders visited a corporation. Of course, the very first person they met was the receptionist. That's a big word for sixth graders. So one kid said, well, what's your job? She said, well, I'm in charge of making great first impressions. How am I doing, kids? And I connect people. So she described her job without using her official title or job description. Have the group each introduce themselves. It sort of gets them into reframing, so you're actually getting into the brainstorming process without calling it that. So each person introduces themselves to the group without using their official title or official job description. The second thing is to have some ground rules. I would say there are 4 or 5 that pertain to every successful brainstorming session. Deferred judgment is number 1. Postponing criticism. If somebody criticizes an idea, it sort of suppresses a little bit, it creates a climate of distrust or fear. So postponing any judgment of any idea until much later in the session or perhaps at another session. Letting people know that they need to exercise their tolerance for ambiguity. If you're in a brainstorming session, you don't have the answer. There is no software. There is no formal program to give you an answer. The assumption is you're going to search in a vague atmosphere. Have the opportunity to keep coming up with ideas. There is actual research that if you produce, say, 20 to 30 ideas, you might get this rating. Now, this is, of course, qualitative research, but experts say this is the quality of those ideas. If you go for 50 to 60, the quality improves. And then allow for quirky, wild ideas. Imagine at 3M if somebody said, well, let's play with this glue that won't stick anything to anything permanently. Here you are in an adhesives company, turned into Post-its. And then finally, to agree that we're all going to respect each other, look at everybody's idea and try to build on it. So defer judgment, establish tolerance for ambiguity, come up with lots of ideas, allow for wild ideas, and show respect for each other. Then the last issue, of course, after you've done that, is to agree on what the issue is you're going to address. In that discussion, the original wording of it might change. You might reframe it into a subcategory of it or an expansion of it. So those are the 3 major breakthroughs, I think, is to introduce each other creatively, go with some guidelines, and agree on exactly what it is you're trying to solve.